All right, hi everybody. I'm Jen from PressureCookingToday.com, and I'm here to talk to you about how to make baby food in your Instant Pot. Barbara Sheeving, who founded the Pressure Cooking Today blog, is my mom, and we wrote a cookbook together all about baby food and toddler food. This cookbook has a soft spot in my heart because I was literally in labor in the hospital trying to hurry and finish up a draft to the editor that was due. Baby came early and we weren't expecting her. So, yeah, so I'm proud of this. I've been able to feed my own baby the recipes that are in here, and they're kid tested. She likes them. So, today we thought we'd start off by cooking. We thought we'd do from fresh carrots, and then we thought we'd do frozen peaches. One of the great things about making baby food in your pressure cooker is you can use fresh, frozen, kind of whatever you have on hand, you can use it. It's especially right now where things are a little bit crazy and ingredients in grocery stores aren't always there when you expect them to be when you're at the store. This gives you a great option for making your own at home. So the carrots take a little bit longer to natural release, so we'll start them first and then I'll kind of go back and cover some basics. So I've got my Instant Pot right here. This is a Duo Evo. Everything's backwards, so we'll see how we're doing. Barbara would have been here, but we're social distancing a little bit, so we're not here right now. It's just me, my first solo live. So, it's really easy. You just need a steamer basket. Let me go grab one. We've got, drop them off. Okay, so we've got, you can use whatever steamer basket you use at home. All of the recipes we tested were in the OXO stainless steel steamer. I love it. I think because it's metal, it cooks a little bit quicker. I've noticed that this is our OXO steamer, one more, and then this one has a little bit deeper sides. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit deeper sides. This is our avocado steamer basket. They're all great options. Use what you have. So you just pour a cup of water right into the pressure cooking pot, and then you put your steamer basket in, and then we prep these beforehand. It's just regular carrots, peeled, peeled and chunked into like 2-inch chunks. We had some really like gigantic, massive tops on some of our carrots, so we cut them in half. But the most important thing is you want to try and have about uniform pieces. But again, this is baby food. It's not fancy French cuisine. So you just dump them in there on top of your steamer basket. I think, let's see. Can you see them in there? Carrots, I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm sloshing water. Don't forget you've got water in there. So you just put them in there, lock the lid in place. And then the carrot food recipe we have, if you go to PressureCookingToday.com, I think Mom Barbara's gonna post the links, but you can just search how to make baby food in the Instant Pot, and the carrot recipe's at the bottom of that post. So you just, let's see, plug it in. Step 1, plug in your pressure cooker. All right. Then on the Evo, you hit pressure cook and custom, and this has a 4-minute cook time, high pressure, and start. So, okay, we got this one going. So I will move some of the steamer baskets out of the way. And then while that one's going, we'll just bust out another pressure cooker and I'll show you the frozen peaches. Let's see. Ryan, will you grab those out of the freezer for me? My baby's having a nap right now, so she is down for a nap, and the big kids are distracted with a movie. So hopefully let's see if we push that guy forward and pull that one back. Can you guys see that? We'll make that work. So we've got frozen peaches from straight out of the Dole bag in the freezer. A little bit freezer burn. One of my favorite things about fruits in baby food is that they make, I steal them sometimes for making smoothies in the morning. So that's a nice way if you're getting close to wanting to use up your baby food. So again, just 1 cup water, grab a steamer basket again. So this time we'll use the avocado one. Sometimes the silicone ones take just another minute to cook, just because they're a little bit thicker than the metal. So just dump them straight on in. And you can use a 0-minute cook time with these. So I know that some pressure cookers don't have a 0-minute cook time. The Evo doesn't have a 0-minute cook time. I was shocked by that. So what you do in those situations is you just, I get put a sealing ring on this one, didn't I? I think so. Okay, so on this one you just put it on back. There you go. Put it on backwards, hit pressure cook, and then how many is it out right? I can't see it. 3, 2, 1, 0. So, and basically what that does is it'll just come right to pressure, and then the minute it reaches pressure in there, it'll just kick off and start pressure releasing. So that's sealed. This one automatically seals. So you're good to go. Just like that, we got 2 different baby foods cooking. One of the things I really love with baby food is you can cook multiple batches at the same time. Let me go. I've got a whole counters full of stuff over there. I'll start bringing it over. So let's see. While those are cooking, we'll talk accessories. So if you wanted to steam like multiple like vegetables at the same time, but you didn't want to mix, when your baby first starts eating baby food, you kind of want to introduce one food at a time. So green beans and give it like a week or 2 or 3 days, and then prunes or whatever, right? So you can do that. So if you want to cook all of them at once, you can. This is just a little steamer basket. It's from IKEA. It's like shaped like a triangle. I don't know if you can see it. But the back side is rounded, and so you can fit 3 of these in your pressure cooker at the same time, so you can cook beans and carrots and peas or whatever. You can also use mason jars, just like a standard 4 of these babies. I think it's just a 2-cup mason jar, pint, I don't know, 2 cups. That'll fit in there. You can use a steamer rack and just fill these little guys up to steam the vegetables. The thing is that you're gonna have to blend it. So when I'm making bigger batches like the carrots or the peaches, for little babies, the only way to get it as smooth as commercially prepared baby food is to blend it in like a fancy Blendtec blender or something. I'm kind of going out of order here. So your options for blending. When you blend, you can either blend it in your blender. Blendtec will get it the smoothest, closest to, or Vitamix or whatever fancy Ninja, whatever nicer blender that you have. That'll get it about as close to commercial as you can get. Immersion blenders, like you can use like the stick blenders, you can use those. Those are really great. A lot of immersion blenders will fit in a wide mouth mason jar. So if you're making like 4 at a time and you want to just blend them right in the jar, and your baby's a little older, so you don't need the food to be quite as finely ground, finely blended as others. That's a great option, and we did that when baby girl was a little bit older. We would just shove the immersion blender in there. They also sell like baby food mills. If you are into canning or something, you probably have a big one. You don't have to go out and buy a big one for baby food. They sell them in just like individual sized ones. So you just shove the baby, this is the OXO one, so you shove the baby food in there, and then you like start pushing down while you rotate, like smooshing it, and then like the baby food is magically mashed right there, and you can just feed them out of that if you want. We have played with the OXO. This one is just like made to smash. It's got little grooves in there and little grooves on the smasher, and you can just like smash, 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 smash. And that works really well. We're going to use this on the peaches just so you can kind of see the difference. I didn't want to turn on the blender during the live because it's so loud that my baby runs out of the room screaming when she hears it. So keep that in mind if you've got a nervous baby like mine. I'm seeing comments come up, but even though I've got my glasses on, I can't quite read them. Ryan, is there?
No questions.
No questions? Yeah, okay. Good. If there are questions, I've got my husband helping, letting me know if there's something that you guys want to see. So let's talk baby food storage. I think this one's just coming to pressure. I can kind of hear it. So when they're first really little and you're starting out giving, like a taste, and then they're like, I will never eat green beans again. I like to use these little itty bitty ones. This is just a tiny ice cube tray I got at IKEA for like $1. But it holds just like a tablespoon of food, just like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. And the American Academy of Pediatrics, right? That's what the abbreviation stands for. Anyways, they recommend that once you put a spoon in there and put that spoon in their mouth, that you have to discard all the baby food after that. So for me, when they're really tiny and like I'm giving you peas now out of principle, but I know that it's like you've rejected them 10 times before. I like to keep them small. If you already have, I know a lot of people who do pressure cooking like to make egg bites. These baby food trays, they come with a little lid. You don't use the lid in the pressure cooker. But this is what I like to freeze them in once they're a little bit bigger. Like I know baby girl loves her peaches, and so I would put big amounts of peaches in these to freeze it in. I would just fill it up, put the lid on, put it in the freezer, and then after they were frozen, I'd get it out and pop them all out into a Ziploc bag. And then we'd just label the Ziploc bag, because it's amazing how easy it is to confuse peaches for butternut squash, for, I don't know, even carrots sometimes we got confused, even though they're a little more orange. Also, OXO makes, let's see, we've got OXO. I've got all the stuff that we got when we were making the cookbook. OXO has these really nice little like freezer trays. I liked these a lot in like, what, 8 to 10 month range. Anyway, you can just use what you have. If you have ice cube trays, use ice cube trays. If you already have some of these bigger ones, use these bigger ones. And then, oh, is it at pressure?
Yep.
Okay. You can use the bigger ones. If you're into glass, OXO makes some, like you don't want to use plastic with your babies, OXO makes a really nice glass jar that can go, you can freeze it in it, it can go in the microwave. I was always nervous about putting glass in the freezer, not so much that I was worried that it would break, but that I would be like digging around in the freezer looking for something else and I would knock it out. But these are all great options. She's not sleeping, is she? Baby girl is talking in the middle of this, saying she wants to get up. So that's good. We're just gonna ignore her. So let's see, what else should I talk about? We could talk about spoons. I don't know. What? Oh, the cookbook? Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, I've got my Gerber spoons right here. These are the ones, these like nice metal ones with the, like the silicone coated tip. These are my favorite for when they're first getting their foods and you just kind of like scrape it off on the top of their gums. These spoons right here are super bendy. Do you see how bendy they are? And I don't know if you can tell, they've got like little bumps and little ridges on them. I really like these for when they first start feeding themselves and you're feeding them something that will just stick to the spoon. So these purees are a great thing for it. Sometimes just like having the little bumps on there to like gnaw on and chew on will get them trying flavors they normally avoid. So one of our friends who's an OT told us about these spoons, and so we gave her avocados first just out of principle, and she looked like we had tried to poison her with like the most disgusting things ever, but we kept giving them to her and now she loves avocados. So these, I can vouch for them. They'll at least give them another chance. This one's come under pressure. And then these little stubby spoons are my favorite for when they are trying to feed themselves. So yeah, Ryan says I should talk about the cookbook a little bit. Are there any other questions? If you have questions, let me know. So in the cookbook, the first whole section of the cookbook is like my kind of research stuff. I tend to be somebody who wants to read all of the user manuals and have all of the answers provided right away. And so basically the first chunk of the cookbook is pretty much everything that I wish that I'd had when I was a new mom. My oldest is 8, and when he was about a year old, his pediatrician recommended that we feed him prunes. And we were going through like so many dollars worth of baby food prune jars a week, and we're like, okay, we're gonna try and make our own baby food. So we bought like a big old Costco-sized bag of prunes, and we found a recipe online for like the stovetop. And come on, we boiled those prunes, and we boiled them, and we boiled them, and we boiled them, and they still weren't done. So we boiled them some more, and then I'm like, oh, these are getting pretty close. And then my son had a blowout, so I went to go change his diaper and came back, and the prunes had like boiled over. And anyway, it was a disaster, and I swore off making baby food for a while after that. And I cannot tell you how much fun it was when we got our pressure cooker. And like, you know what, we're gonna give prunes a try in the pressure cooker. And nothing boiled over because it's got a lid. It was amazing. Is that this one or this one? That's this one? Okay. Oh, sorry, Brian's keeping me on track. So it's come to pressure, it's hit at 0 minutes, and now it is off, right? Do I have to click off to make it be quiet? So just cancel, and ready? There it goes. Oh, wrong way. So because it's a quick release, there's lots of steam kind of going all over the counter a little bit, but I don't know if you could even see it. To me, it's like almost hard to see like that. Was that?
10 minutes.
Okay, so the carrots have a 10-minute pressure release now, so they're done with theirs. So we're just kind of waiting. So the Nova is a little different. This one I'm cooking in my Instant Pot Nova, and our Duo, the steam just bent straight up, but the Nova, it kind of bends backwards at an angle, and I hadn't really thought about that when I was... So it's venting towards me in this big cloud of steam. Just waiting for the last of that to get the pin to fall. Oh, I'm gonna get out the mini mitts. This one?
Yep.
So these right here, with some models of Instant Pot they come with, others they don't. You can buy them on Amazon separately if you don't, but I love these little things. So the pin's almost dropped. There we go. The pin dropped. Turn it backwards from how I'm used to it. Open it away from your body. Alright. Just throw it in the sink. Okay. So, oh wow, you can still hear the water boiling in there. Maybe that's in the other one. Oh, there we go. So we've got our peaches. I'm going to try and show you without like spilling them. If they do spill, they'll just go back in the pot. So we've got our baby food peaches right there. Right. So, there you go. So they're okay, we'll just put that there. So, there's the water that you cook them with is gonna be like a little, I don't know if you can see, it's like this really pretty, I don't think you can see it. So it's really, oh, you know what? Here. You can see it when I pour it in. So with a lot of foods, you can use the cooking water to blend it with. There we go. Okay. So you can use the cooking water to blend it with. So now we have, you can see now it's kind of, I don't know. When you cook with fresh peaches, it's my favorite. It turns this beautiful peachy pink color, and like the whole house smells amazing when you cook fresh peaches this way. I highly recommend it. If you buy like a big old box of peaches when your peaches are in season, just steam them in there for smoothies or obviously for baby food, but just to smell it. Even this smells pretty good. It's pretty good. So this right here is boiling lava hot. It's pretty hot. And so if you're gonna do it in a blender jar, you need to wait until it's cooled off enough that it's not gonna like cause a steam pocket to come up and make your blender angry at you. Yeah, you don't want to pressurize in your blender jar. For us, we found it was about 20 minutes. That's the guideline we wrote down in the cookbook. But it doesn't have to be 20 minutes. It's not rocket science. If it's cool enough that you feel good about putting it in your blender, do it. So the reason why I like to save the cooking water is sometimes when it's boiling, like some nutrients will kind of, you know, just, I mean, because you can tell it's a little bit colored. I hope that doesn't look inappropriate. Sorry, I didn't think about that. Anyway, the nutrients will go into the water, and so when you use it to kind of liquefy your baby food so you can get it the puree, the consistency you want, you're making sure that those nutrients stay in there. There's a couple foods that you don't want to do it with, like spinach. All of that's in the front matter in the book, again, because I like to research everything. So should we just smash these up while we're doing it? I'll just grab a spoon. So this one I'll just show you. I'll just grab a spoonful out. And these peaches they're cooked nice and tender. What?
The jar.
Oh.
It just, I don't want you knocked it over.
Oh, don't knock over the jar. My husband knows me well, so I'm just gonna pour, oh, that's really hot. Pour a little bit of liquid in there for now. Should I put this just
on the counter?
On the counter? It's hot. It's hot. Okay. So you just add a little bit of liquid in there and then you just smash it. So that's clearly way too liquidy. Yes, I'll add more peaches. So you can just do, like if your baby's hungry and you just wanted to do a little bit before, I mean, that cooks up so quick that you could be getting, food for your other kids or, food for yourself. I remember there were a lot of times when I would cook baby food for the kids and then I would be so tired of cooking that I'd just go and I'd eat like chips from the pantry or something. So that's another thing that this cookbook is for babies and toddlers. And in the lunch section in the lunch section of the toddler food cookbook, it has like cook the meat.
Oh, I see. I can do that.
I'm going to pass this off to Ryan, and he's going to sit and mash so I don't make messes everywhere on the counter while I'm on the live. What was I saying, Ryan? I got distracted.
Lunch section.
Oh, yeah, the lunch section. So lunch is my nemesis. I really hate lunch because, like, you finally get breakfast cleaned up, and you, like, look down at your watch, and it's suddenly lunchtime, and everybody's grouchy.
Oh.
You need more peaches? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, I never would take good care of myself, and so I wanted a quick answer to that. So my lunch section in here, let's see if you can skip right there. So I know this isn't exactly baby food, it's for toddlers, but so like what we did is we did like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like diced chicken 3 ways. And so you cook the meat in the pressure cooker. And so you only have to get the chicken out once and touch the chicken once, and you dice it up, you put it in the pressure cooker, you pressure cook it, and then you've got cooked chicken, and it tells you how to make teriyaki bowls and green enchiladas and chicken salad sandwiches out of it. And there's a whole bunch of those for like ground beef and for beef strips and, other shredded chicken, just other ways that you can only cook once but still feed yourself. And then, with your babies, they're probably not going to want to eat all green enchilada bowls, but you can give it like basically deconstructed style. My kids all of them have loved like these once we're done eating them, or even these, once they're big enough to want to eat more. We will like put like some grapes in this one and some bread slices in this one and dip in one, and so they can dip it in there. Same with this. This is a little bit better for when they're having like bigger sandwiches, but just putting it in little trays like that, they love eating it that way. So this right here, we've got our mashed peaches. And normally it doesn't take that long to mash, but on screen. So it's a lot, it's a kind of a thicker, I don't know if you could see, a little thicker. This would be great for an older baby. You're gonna hold it up to the camera so they can see it. Thank you. So I mean, it's just thicker peaches. You're not gonna go to the store and find a baby food jar that's that thick. But once they've got a couple teeth and you want them to start getting used to texture, if you don't give them texture too soon, then they're gonna have to go visit my friend, the OT therapist. That's redundant, the occupational therapist, and learn how to eat. So you want them to have texture, and as soon as they're ready for it, they love it. So, how much time's left on those carrots?
2 minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay, so. Oh, Ryan, I said not to let me forget to show you my favorite thing. This is not exactly baby food making related, but it is baby food eating related. It's this OXO tot bib. It's my favorite thing ever. It folds up inside itself and then like snaps together so you can close it like that. So like if you go out to eat at like the park and have a picnic or something, when we could do that, you could put like the dirty spoon in there and wrap it all up and then take it home and clean it. So it's so nice, but because the top is like this fabricy stuff, like it fits around their neck so good, but because this part is silicone down on the bottom, like it catches everything and they don't stain all their clothes. It's my favorite thing ever. And no, OXO's not paying me anything to say that. I wish they would pay us to say that because I would say it happily for free. What?
We want to know how long we cook the peaches and quicker natural release.
How long we cook the peaches? So these peaches we cooked from frozen, so it's a 0-minute cook time. So most models of Instant Pot and many other pressure cookers, you can set it and you can take the pressure cook time all the way down to 0. If your pressure cooker doesn't go all the way down to 0, then you can just listen for when it comes to pressure. and then just release the pressure. Just hit cancel and release the pressure. Frozen foods have a really quick cook time, like frozen peas, frozen carrots cook a little longer, but frozen peas, I don't know. We talked about it in here. A lot of frozen things in there. And then if you're cooking fresh peaches, let's see. Fresh peaches are 5-minute cook time with a 10-minute natural release. And that makes sense because they're frozen, like it changes the texture a little bit. And we tested and tested and tested. And believe me, it was not a sad thing to have loads and loads of peach puree in my fridge. But for a lot of frozen foods, 0 minutes works best. Was there another one? No? Okay. Perfect. So now we're going to release the pressure on the carrots. Just unplug these.
Yep.
Should we move some of this stuff back out of the way?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're almost done here. Let me give that to you. There we go. What? Oh, you want me to carrots in there? Okay. So we're gonna take the lid off. This is backwards from how I do it normally. I'm just gonna put this over here in the sink. Don't turn on the water. All right, and we took the mitts away. Okay, so we got our carrots. Okay, so they are in the steamer basket. I think we're gonna need a bowl. So if you have kind of a wobblier steamer basket, like this OXO one holds together pretty well. The metal steamer basket that we used when we were testing them was a little bit harder to get out, so we would have a bowl just prepped and ready. But you can just tip it right into the bowl. I'm gonna do it on the counter so I don't drop it. Just tip it into the bowl. So empty steamer basket, toss that in the sink. So you wanna hold it up so they can see it? So we've just got pretty steamed carrots. These are cooked a little bit more than what you would cook, like if you wanted to steam carrots to eat them for your dinner, that you would probably find this too mushy, but if you cooked them till they were crisp tender, there'd be a lot more work to blend, and it would be a pain in the neck with the baby food meal steamers. So that's why we did it that way. And then again, you wouldn't put any water in there? Okay. So with the carrots, I'm just gonna put them in this little baby food meal just so I can show it out to you. So you're sure no water? I'm gonna add a little water. Ryan's probably right, but I'm gonna do it my way. Okay, so I can see a comment on the screen, I just can't read it. Sorry guys. So put that right on. And you see how I can't push it down any farther? That's as far as it goes. It's got this like non-stick base thing. So I'm gonna here, let's move these guys out of the way. You can see all my mess back here. So you just spin it and shove it down. And once it meets the thing, you've got your pureed carrots. Where's the spoon? So these are baby food carrots, just that easy. I love it so much. These are pretty thick. If your baby is brand new to solid foods, you're gonna want to add more water. Just enough so that they can be nice and mushy. This is pretty, I would do this for what, 8-10 months, something like that. I think they'd be fine with that. A little bit of water goes a long way with these baby foods. It's really easy to like water it down too much. So I always like to start with a little bit less than I think I'll need. In our cookbook, we've mentioned, some recipes don't need any water. Some recipes need a little bit more water. So we have gone through and said, in each of our recipes, about how much worked for us. You'll need less water if you're using a Blendtec or fancy blender, a little more water if you're using a regular blender. And you might need even more water with this. Ryan is writing a message down. What message are you writing? Okay. So I think that's about it. It's yummy. You can freeze it, use it in smoothies. Is there anything else? We can if we want. I'm fine with that. We've got other ways to store it. I was gonna say you can also, we use this a few times, this baby food freeze-in station, so you can put the mashed baby food in there and then you can actually fill up your own pouches, which is really cool, but the baby food will still need to be refrigerated or frozen that way. So I would just keep a couple of these, just the regular baby food pouches in there. And again, like for both Barbara and me, like we both do what works for your family. If you want to make everything for your baby from scratch, absolutely make it from scratch. You know exactly what's in it. You know what ingredients it has. If you know you want to just make some things that your baby loves and eats in volume, great. The cookbook also has sections on grains, so like rice cereal, all the different grains you can introduce them to. It has fruit and vegetable blends. So we had like our standard single fruits and veggies like carrots and peaches and apples and whatnot. But then we kind of go a little bit more into fancier blends once they get a little bit older. So like butternut squash and corn, sweet peas, zucchini, and green beans. Just kind of combinations that our babies have liked in the past when we were making it. And then like meats for when you are introducing meats. You can make your own chicken puree. You can make your own turkey puree. The like baby food bottles of meats are nasty, guys. Like they're nasty. I'm sorry. Like my kids wouldn't touch them, and I tested one, and I don't blame them for not touching them. So these are actually good. Like our babies ate these. They liked them. So that was nice. At the end of the baby food section, we've got a smash cake that you can make in your pressure cooker. A healthy carrot cake version, and then like a bring on the sugar chocolate cake version. I never let our babies have sugar until they were 1. Mom let us have sugar whenever she felt like it, so we each put a cake recipe in there that we liked. But yeah, that's about it. And then like it goes on, the toddler section has my thoughts on the toddler food is that you want to train your baby to eat like the rest of your family. So I am not the kind of mom who's going to make 2 separate meals for my toddler and my family. So the toddler, especially like the toddler lunches and dinners, are about taking out a portion to feed for your toddler and then adding in the spices that the rest of your family will eat. It worked really well to feed our family of 4, so 2 grown-ups, 2 young children, and then our baby. The recipe portions were really great for that size to feed everybody by just cooking once, but still preparing food that will get your toddler ready for eating like everyone else. So, any questions? No? Okay, that's everything. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Again, my name's Jen. I'm with PressureCookingToday.com, and go to the website, How to Make Baby Food, and they'll have the recipe there. Thanks. And broadcast.